have no idea what's happening here. If you're new to skiing this winter, there's a very good chance you're making at least one of these mistakes. And yes, I have personally done a lot of them. So let's save you some pain, embarrassment, and maybe a couple $100. And here's a pro tip. Mistakes 3 and 4 are ones that I see experienced skiers do too. Mistake number 1, tucking your base layers into your ski boot. Let's start with possibly the most universal beginner mistake, tucking those base layers right into the tops of your ski boots. And look, I get it. It feels organized, it feels tidy, it feels like the right thing to do. But if you do this, you're basically creating pressure point torture devices. Those little fabric wrinkles, they hurt a ridiculous amount, like way more than you'd expect crinkled fabric to hurt, especially when your ski boots lock down on them. They turn into hot spots, numb toes, foot pain, calf pain, basically misery. So here's the fix. Your boots and socks get their own zone. Nothing else goes inside the boot. No leggings, no thermals, no ski pants, just socks. If you own full length base layers and no 3/4 length, no problem. Just hike them up so they end before your ski boot even begins. I like to fold my base layers over around the thigh because there's usually more extra fabric in that zone, but do whatever makes you most comfortable. Bottom line, no wrinkles in the ski boots. Mistake numero dos, prioritizing fashion over comfort or warmth. Listen, I love a good retro onesie. The pink, the neon, the 80s ski Barbie energy. I'm here for it. I even own a bright yellow onesie by Arc'teryx that is absolutely amazing and I adore it. But here's the mistake I see all the time, especially with women buying cute ski onesies on Amazon and then suffering during their entire ski experience. I'm not saying it's bad to find affordable gear. Absolutely not. But those Amazon onesies are often not warm nor waterproof, and they aren't very functional. If you get hot, you can't take a layer off. If you have to pee, it's a nightmare. And a lot of them do look very fitted, so you get a nice snatched look. That means you can't add a layer if you get cold. Are there some good onesies out there? Heck yes. But going with a cheap one just because it's cute isn't the way. Bottom line, you can be a style icon. Just maybe not while still learning how to turn. Mistake number 3, wearing ski boots that are too big. Boot mistake number 1, sizing. So many beginners wind up in ski boots that are just too big. And one main reason is that online sizing charts are usually wrong. They're often based on street shoe sizing, and ski boots fit nothing like your normal shoes. If you rely on these online charts, there's a great chance you are wearing boots that are maybe a full size too large. I did this for years and was wearing a 25.5 Mondo size ski boot for my street shoe size 8.5. When I finally saw a boot fitter, I learned that I should have been wearing a 23.5 Mondo. That is a huge difference. So if your heel lifts when you walk, or you feel like your foot is sliding around when you turn, or even if they're feeling really comfortable, your boots are too big, and skiing is going to feel way harder than it needs to. So here's the fix. When in doubt, downsize, or of course, just ask the rental shop to refit you. Ski boots aren't comfortable, highly uncomfortable. A proper boot should feel snug, like a firm squeezing handshake to your toes, not luxurious and cozy. Mistake number 4 ties into number 3, over booting yourself. So while we're talking about ski boots, let's talk about mistake number 2 for ski boots, over booting, which basically means choosing a boot with a flex rating that's too stiff for your skill level or your body weight. So, quick recap: the flex of a ski boot is how soft or stiff a boot is when you lean into it. Stiffer means you'll ski with more power, but it's harder to control, whereas softer gives you less power, but it's much easier to work with as a beginner. So, for flex, here's a quick guideline for beginners. Women, you're probably looking in the 60 to 80 flex, and men, you're likely in the 70 to 90 flex. And if your buddy Chad is skiing in a 130 flex race boot, that does not mean you need to do the same. Boot flex is not a personality trait. Nobody wins a prize. Mistake 5, skipping your helmet. Okay, this one is a quick one. Not wearing a helmet. I know it was considered uncool in the 90s and early 2000s to wear a helmet, but those days are long gone, my friends. In fact, you almost look like you don't know what you're doing if you choose not to wear one. These days, more and more resorts require them during lessons. And honestly, just wear one. You can rent one, they're not expensive, and this is one mistake that isn't worth learning the hard way. And yes, it doesn't matter how your hair looks afterwards. Mistake number 6, forgetting your sunscreen. Sunscreen, yes, even in the winter. Snow reflects UV rays and makes burns so much worse. And goggle tan lines, they will stay with you forever. And not in a cute way. Mistake number 7, skiing in the back seat. Next up, we have a classic, sitting back while skiing, also known as backseat skiing. For beginners and experienced skiers alike, backseat skiing feels safer because you're leaning away from the slope instead of downhill towards your perceived depth. But it actually gives you less control and makes turning and stopping much, much harder. Plus, you end up sitting all weird inside your ski boots and it hurts your feet and your muscles and your calves. Can you tell I struggle with this one? So, here's a fix to help you work on it. This is a simple cue that I use and like myself. Reminder to keep gentle pressure on the front of your boot with your shins, hips over your feet, not behind them. Mistake number 8, using poles on day 1. So, poles are a funny thing. And I know with kids, getting and earning poles is like this huge deal. And look, I understand that poles look like they'll help you balance. But at the beginning, they actually make learning so much harder. You have this long thing at the end of your arm and you're swinging it around while you're still trying to figure out how to position your body and turn the right way. So, ski poles on day 1 or day 2, or who knows how long, or really until you feel comfortable. Focus on balance, turning, and stopping first, doing all of that without poles. Once those are solid, poles become helpful, not a distraction. Mistake number 9, wearing cotton layers. Okay, look, this is a classic one. Cotton. Cotton gets wet, it stays wet, and then freezes you from the inside out. If you watched my cheap ski hacks video last week, you already know this, but synthetic or merino layers will make your day way better. And you probably already have some lying around your house, so you don't need to buy anything. If you don't know what I'm talking about, click on the video at the end for an explainer. Cheap ski hacks. Go watch it. Mistake number 10. This one makes me giggle a little bit, but I mean it. Filming yourself way too soon. Filming yourself with a GoPro or a smartphone or an Insta360, whatever, before you actually know how to ski. It's fun. I get it. You want the epic ski footage from your trip or your first day or whatever. And I understand these are core memories. But the second you start worrying about the angle of the camera or holding the camera steady or pointing your face in the direction you want the camera to look, your stance falls apart and everything just turns into a hot mess. So, my tip is get the basics down first. Then grab your GoPro to film your ski movie. Or even better, have an experienced friend get some footage of you so you don't have to stress about it. If you're new to skiing and you want the best possible start, the next video you should watch is my cheap ski hacks video from last week. It'll save you money and help you get into skiing without spending a small fortune. And next week, I'll be breaking down what you actually need to start skiing and what's totally unnecessary. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. I'll see you out there.